What's up, forum? It's me, your boy, Ray William Johnson here, and today we're gonna be reacting to some epic cat videos. Whoa! Gee willikers, look at that one. Oh, whoa, that's a little crazy. Oh, this guy, oh, look at this one. Ooh, he's going a little hard in the paint. Ooh. And now we're getting a little bit epic. That one was pretty epic. Well, guys, that was the video for today. And now let's come subscribe to my ass, because 1 + 2 = 3.
Damn, nigga!
Yo, who the fuck is MattCMG?
Hey paisanos, it's me, MattCMG, and let me set the scene for you today. The year is 2005, and this little site called YouTube had just hit the scene. You might have heard of it. This wacky little site, this crazy little character, had all kinds of user-submitted videos for the enjoyment of internet users everywhere. In the site's very early years, these consisted of very primitive vlogs and an assortment of home videos from just regular people. And of course, cat videos, because of course, you know, the internet equals late epic cat videos. Whoa, we're so quirky and random. Kill yourself, please. YouTube is a place where people from all walks of life can flex their creative dicks and come out with some absolutely game-changing stuff, all without having big budgets or fancy camera equipment. Or at least, it used to be. Ever since YouTube hit mainstream appeal, a lot of the charm of its early years, you know, we're talking like 2005 to 2012-ish, was kind of completely lost. That's not to say that there aren't any good videos or great creators anymore, but the definition of what it means to be a YouTuber has changed quite a lot in the public eye. Today, I'd like to take you all on a bit of a trip down memory lane by going over some of the biggest trends, creators, and viral videos of YouTube's early years that I personally remember from when I was a kid, as well as a bit of my personal history with the platform, and what makes that also interesting today in hindsight. So smash that motherfucking like button, or I will violently slaughter your entire family! And let's get right into how YouTube changed forever.
Yeah, it's rewind time.
To start us off, it's time for a little story time with MattCMG. Patent pending, trademark, fuck. If you ask somebody what the first YouTube video they ever saw was, chances are they'd say something like, you know, Smosh, Annoying Orange, The Evolution of Dance, Star Wars Kid, or various other viral videos of the time, if they even remember what it was at all. For me, the very first YouTube video that I ever saw was about a funny little CGI character named Bernard the Polar Bear back in 2007. Looking back on it today, this is the kind of shit that passes for content farm garbage for babies to watch while their eyes rot after a 13-hour Cocomelon binge. But back then, to a young kid like me who was first discovering the internet, this was some top tier shit. This is what would happen if Norm of the North and Crazy Frog had sweaty, steamy love and conceived a child. When that cold brew hits. While me losing my YouTube video virginity was nothing special, it was what ultimately made me fall in love with the website by getting me here in the first place. Bernard the Polar Bear might not be culturally relevant, viral, or even good, but thanks to him, you have me now. Is that a gift or a curse? You decide. To reiterate, I first discovered YouTube in 2007 when I was just 7 years old, so as you might have guessed, I was around for a lot of the bigger viral creators of the time. Of course, if you were around in the late 2000s, then there's almost a 100% chance that you remember Fred. Created by a guy by the name of Lucas Crickshank, or however the fuck you say his last name, Fred was a character known for his high-pitched voice and loud=funny style of humor, which back then was considered pretty funny. I unironically liked Fred Goes to the Grocery Store, suck my ass. The Fred character was incredibly popular back then, leading to the character being featured in an episode of iCarly, and later getting a movie trilogy and a TV series on Nickelodeon. With all the crossovers and shared studio space that they had at the time, there was like a 90% chance that fucking Fred got to meet Victoria Justice, and words cannot describe the envy that I feel. The notoriously bad Fred movies, the first of which is actually Kino and I Will Die on This Hill, are often what people think of when they first think of Fred, but I feel like most people don't realize how much of a cultural phenomenon the character was before Nickelodeon. This was the funniest shit to kids like me back in the late O's, and what a lot of people might not know is that the Fred videos actually had continuity and lore. Most people think of these videos as just some kid screaming in his backyard with his voice pitched up, and they were, but the real story of Fred is that he is a 4-year-old schizophrenic boy with an alcoholic, abusive mother and an absentee father who is constantly bullied by a kid named Kevin and has a crush on a girl named Judy. While we never directly see any of these characters in the Fred videos, many of these elements pop up in multiple videos and attentive viewers can start to piece the story together. It was really one of the first web series, if you could even call it that attempted to have some level of continuity and an indirect method of storytelling, if you can even call it that. That being said, and looking back on it, most of these videos were not good. After Fred gained notoriety for being the funny, high-pitched screaming kid, Lucas really leaned into that side of the character, and being loud and obnoxious became the crux of every video to the point where it lost anything that made it originally appealing. Before that point though, some of the earliest Fred videos were fucking boring. For example, his third video, Fred Goes to the Park, is just him fucking around in his backyard, and I don't think there's a single joke in it aside from this like funny zoom that he does here. The video just ends with his alcoholic mother screaming at him and him having a fucking mental breakdown. And if this was meant as a joke, I don't think that it came off that way, because this shit was a little bit too fucking real. Like it was genuinely uncomfortable. Like it wasn't even funny. Watching some of these early Fred videos really makes you wonder how the character became as popular as he did. Obviously, Lucas no longer makes the Fred videos. He has completely moved on from the character, and he now has his own somewhat successful YouTube career. However, the Fred YouTube channel is still around, and after Lucas left, it was a roller coaster of shit. There were these like go animate fucking content farm animations on there for a while, and at some point they tried to recast Fred as a much younger kid who, correct me if I'm racist, is literally just Ryan's toy review. At the end of the day, there are two lessons that we can learn from Fred. One, never sell your YouTube channel, and two, if you are purposefully as annoying as humanly possible on video, you get to meet Weezer. Oh my god, it's Weezer! Moving on to something that's aged a little bit better, without a doubt, the most popular duo of early YouTube was none other than Smosh. Created by Anthony Padilla and Ian Hecox, Smosh began as literally just two dudes in their bedroom lip-syncing to the Pokemon theme, and over the years they would create raunchy sketch comedy videos that would later elevate the duo to the coveted spot of most subscribed channel on YouTube. Of course, they would eventually be dethroned, but the legacy of Smosh still lives on in both the nostalgia of their golden age and the mediocrity of whatever they're doing now. These days, people think of Smosh as cringe. You know, they're using a lot of memes these days in a very ironic way, but low-key, Golden Age Smosh was unironically fucking goated. When I say Golden Age Smosh, I'm talking about their stuff from around 2010 to 2012-ish, with videos like Pokemon in Real Life, Pizza Zombies, their music videos like the Zelda rap, and series like If Blank Were Real. The reason that I consider this their golden age, aside from the fact that I obviously grew up watching this, was that this was where their production value was really high compared to other YouTubers at the time, but still cheap looking and raunchy enough in a way that could only be pulled off on the internet. You know, there's a certain charm to it that their newer stuff just doesn't have because they're so big budget now. They never really were the same since Anthony left, were they? What the fuck is Anthony doing now? He's like talking a dream and shit? Like, get the fuck out of here. A lot of their videos during this time were very try-hard, for lack of a better term. Like, there's a lot of overacting, and you can't tell if they're doing it intentionally to be ironic or to appeal to children, but a lot of the humor does land if you're an immature man-child like me. Like, come on, Dixon's Cider? That's fucking genius. Listen. My brother and I somehow convinced our mom to buy us some of their uncensored songs off of iTunes on our fucking iPod Touches or whatever. And I think to this day, I still remember the lyrics to Firetruck and the Assassin's Creed rap by heart. How many fools can I kill today? Too many to count, don't get in my way. I shoot a mofo in the throat with my bow. Tomahawk chop is my death throw. There was also a brief time where Smosh tried to... Smosh. Hey guys, it's Smosh. Say like a Boston guy. I'm watching Smosh, man. Hey man, I'm watching Smosh! There was also a brief time where Smosh tried to branch out into multiple channels by making, you know, a gaming channel during the Let's Play boom, and eventually a cartoon channel for animated shorts with their comedic style, but none of them ever really took off. Like, dog, if you remember Zombies vs. Ninjas, I think you're qualified for a senior discount. But on a more personal note, I will always have a bit of a soft spot for Smosh because they were partially what inspired me to start making videos. I don't often mention this, but back when I started making videos as an 11-year-old wee little fucking lad with a tiny penis, I wanted to make sketch comedy videos like Smosh, and a lot of my earliest videos, which you cannot see because most of them are long gone, you know, they had that same type of humor, albeit a little bit more clean. If not for Smosh, you likely would not be watching this video right now because I likely would not have been making videos to begin with. While their current content is a completely different beast from their humble beginnings, I will always get a little bit giddy when I hear that iconic soundbite. Shut up! In a similar vein of sketch comedy YouTubers, the next one I wanted to talk about was... Can we say that? Ryan Higa, sure, we'll call him that, was one of the most popular creators back in his heyday. He started out making iconic videos like how to be ninja, how to be emo, a lot of how-to videos for some reason. Eventually, he started branching out into other types of videos and sketches with series like Off the Pill, which was basically just a rant series that years later would be revived as a podcast, and my personal favorite, The Schizo, where he would comically argue with his other personalities about various topics, all of them being played by himself. It was pretty creative for the time. Over the years, years, Ryan would come out with a ton of iconic videos that I remember pretty fondly, and sometimes even quote to myself on a somewhat frequent basis. Like, bro, I throw on Things That Ruin Thanksgiving once every couple of years, and his song Nice Guys gets stuck in my head all the fucking time, even though it's just like a really lazy fucking parody of Love the Way You Lie by Eminem.
I'm over here stroking my dick. I got lotion on my dick right now.
Personally, I think Ryan really hit his stride around 2010 to 2011, where his videos got more high effort and clearly had a much higher production value, but unlike Smosh, who had a similar upgrade, Ryan still had that homemade vibe to him. He was clearly very talented and had a real passion for making videos, so he poured a ton of effort into it, and it clearly paid off with all of his videos around this time garnering millions of views each. I actually kind of underestimated how successful this guy was, because even as late as 2019, all of his sketch videos were still getting millions of views. That is over 13 years of consistently breaking the million mark. That's insane. Unfortunately, Ryan hasn't uploaded in over 2 years, with his last couple of videos being about the start of COVID, and his podcast never really seems to take off. He explains in a video slightly before then that he's been feeling and has since been streaming pretty consistently on Twitch. Yo, it is not every day that you see a creator rise to the top of his game, stay at the top of his game for years consistently, and then just one day decide, nah, I don't feel like it anymore. Like, that's fucking nutty. That's a Sigma move right there. Ryan Higa truly was a YouTube legend if there ever were one, even though I only really remember him for his early work. That name, though. How did he get away with this? This is the funniest shit when you're like 5 years old. Hey yo! Let's calm down! 6! Penis! Come! However, as for some cleaner YouTube comedians at the time, and one that I feel like nobody talks about, despite still being pretty active, is the Computer Nerd 01, who I'll be referring to as Josh throughout this segment. If that name doesn't ring a bell, maybe this'll jog your memory.
Wake up in the morning feeling like Nick Jones.
This guy's parody of TikTok by Kesha was absolutely groundbreaking. Every kid in my middle school knew this parody by heart over the official version, and to this day, I still remember most of the lyrics. Josh's song parodies were insanely popular back in the day, and almost all of them in the early days gained millions of views. He would also delve into other forms of content like vlogs or skits, but they never really got as popular as his parodies or his very similar reciting videos, where he would recite the lyrics to a song and then act them out in a funny way. The humor in these videos was definitely a product of that early 2010s lol XD random phase, focusing on being random and talking about current trends. But regardless, there's still kind of a charm to them that kind of transcends the cringe. A lot of people would watch these today and think that they're cringe, but Josh seems to kind of know that they were cringe. You know, he seems to have enough self-awareness to realize that he was cringe, but didn't seem to care and just loved making videos and doing his own thing, regardless of if they were hitting the same views that his parodies were. He was actually pretty consistent on the site for a long time, but started to slow down a bit around 2016, and hasn't uploaded since the end of 2020. Nowadays, Josh does a podcast called The Garden State, and seems to have moved on from making videos. Regardless, I think that a lot of his videos, even the early ones as dated as they are, still hold up in many ways, even if they now have irony on their side. You know what he looks like? He looks like Kendall and James from Big Time Rush did the fucking fusion dance. Alright, enough of these comedy guys, enough of this funny stuff that makes you giggle. Let's talk about gaming. Gaming is a huge part of YouTube these days, even just internet culture in general with Twitch and like, you know, oh, I'm an epic gaming Twitch streamer, whoa, I make epic fucking Apex Legends content, kill yourself. Some of the first gaming YouTubers that I remember watching were some that you might not expect or even have heard of. Of course, you know, I was into the big guys at the time as well. You know, I was into game theory in the early days before it was new and fresh and not cringe. I loved Peanut Butter Gamer's early work, and I'd watch a lot of Pokemon Let's Plays from guys like Munching Orange, but when it came to gaming videos, I was more into the obscure type of guy. This is where the videos start to take a random turn from being about general YouTube history to now being about my personal history with the platform, so you know, really good transition there. Ray William Johnson would be proud. Firstly, just like any kid around that time, I was really into Minecraft around 2012, and my friend Brandon, who some of you might know from my streams, introduced me to the game along with a YouTuber named T-Bone105 Presents. T-Bone would make Minecraft videos focusing on exploring different mods in a way that was super different from the typical mod showcases that other YouTubers were doing at the time. While most big Minecraft YouTubers at the time would do like mod showcases where they would show off every aspect of the mod in a controlled environment, T-Bone would just boot up survival mode with a mod installed and would play through it with minimal research, and would occasionally combine mods to make for a very interesting series. The most iconic of his single-player ventures was probably Ballercraft, the Egg McMuffin series, where he created a proverbial Minecraft Egg McMuffin by combining mods like Tale of Kingdoms, Spider Queen, and Minecraft Comes Alive.
I don't know if you guys understand or not, but this could potentially be the Egg McMuffin of Minecraft series.
T-Bone had a very unique personality compared to other Minecraft YouTubers at the time as well. While other Minecraft YouTubers were playing these like child-friendly characters, T-Bone felt like a real, relatable person, and that's just because he was. But the biggest appeal to his channel for me were his multiplayer series, where he'd get together with some of his friends from real life who also happened to have YouTube channels, and they would play Minecraft together in a more casual setting. You know, it felt more like a podcast than a Let's Play, where it's just a bunch of dudes talking about random nonsense while playing a game, kind of like Oni Plays or Super Mega before they even existed. My two personal favorites were beating Minecraft, which is exactly what it sounds like, and building a Minecraft zoo, where the group tries to build a zoo using the Mo Creatures mod. These SMP series gave you a good sense of who these guys were as people, and they all had distinct personalities that made them some pretty interesting characters in their own right, even though they were just being themselves. That sexy doobie was a pure ladies' man, Panoramic Blue 14, otherwise known as Pano, was just a wholesome vibe, and T-Bone's brother Candyman was just pure chaotic evil.
Candyman, you fucking idiot, Candy. He knew that was there, and he went right back up in it.
The Baller Squad, as they were once known, were never the biggest Minecraft YouTubers out there, but they were some of the first that I had ever seen do it, and I have massive respect for them for that. You know, it's certainly better than whatever the fuck the Dream fandom is up to. Like, I think these kids need medical help. Like, what the fuck is this? As for other types of gaming content, one of my favorite YouTubers to this day is the iconic Flames on Fire 1212. Now, if you ain't ever seen Flames on Fire, I don't know what to tell you, you're missing out. But I understand that some of my viewers are, like, you know, little baby zoomer embryos who might not remember this, so allow me to explain, right? Flames on Fire was a YouTuber who mostly made top 10 videos about video games. An extremely tired concept today, but back in 2008, it was a pretty novel idea. And even if it wasn't, the dude had some of the most unique topics for top 10 videos that I'd ever seen. They would make even Watch Mojo cower in fucking fear. While other gaming top 10 videos were like, top 10 Mario characters, or top 5 Zelda games, whoa! Flames would make shit like top 10 games you don't want your friends to know that you play, where he would talk about his guilty pleasure games, or the ever iconic top 10 you're a dick moments, where he would talk about annoying things that your friends do in games that piss you off. They were such unique concepts that nobody else was doing, and combined with the low quality footage and Windows Movie Maker editing, as well as Flames' personality and sarcastic sense of humor, it was just comedy gold. His analysis was never really all that in-depth, only dedicating a few sentences to each entry along with some jokes, but there was something so charming about that. Sure, there were other like angry gamer personalities at the time, like AVGN and the Irate Gamer, and they were obviously just characters, but Flames just felt like a regular guy, you know, a real person. The crazy thing about him though is that despite their low quality and some of the jokes and references being somewhat dated, most of these videos still hold up today. You know, they're still funny, and it's all because of his deadpan, sarcastic delivery of his genuine takes on certain games.
If you move the thing in front of the elevator, you probably also enjoy old hairy men jizzing all over your face.
You know, he was one of the guys that inspired me to start making videos, and while I don't really do gaming content, it's his sense of humor that has rubbed off on me immensely, and I'll find myself referencing him every now and again. You know, I still tell people to put a tampon in and shut the fuck up in arguments because of his video. Every time I hear the main riff of Everlong by Foo Fighters, I think of Flames on Fire's intro, and all of these memories of his videos and that entire style just come flooding back. Flames on Fire needs to make a return to the internet in some way, man. The streets need my guy. We need Flames on Fire now more than ever. I watch the Act Man for my gaming opinions. I watch fucking, Titty Man. Shut the fuck up. I watch Flames on Fire. Suck my dick.
Fortnite and Marquez Brownlee.
I could honestly go on about YouTubers and videos that I loved from back in fucking 2008, but I think you guys get the picture by now. Bro, if I wasn't currently working on several multiple hour-long videos right now, I could have easily talked about old YouTubers for a good hour or two. You know, Ray William Johnson, the Shoes video, fucking Hannah Minx and the entire subgenre of boob-tubers. I could even go into some of my personal favorite obscure channels like Random Productions and their hit series Suicide Baby, This Is Real. You know, the old layout, the 5-star rating system, annotations, even the old default YouTube app on iPhones back in the day. I have so much nostalgia around early YouTube that I really just can't contain it. And this website and the YouTubers that I grew up watching, whether they were well-known or obscure, have shaped my sense of humor. And my videos would just not be the same without them. Unfortunately, YouTube would gradually change to be much more corporate than it started out as, and it has low-key ruined a lot of what originally made the site so great. A lot of people claim that 2016 was kind of the last year where YouTube was truly great, while it was really about the creators like it used to be, and honestly, I think that holds true in a lot of ways. Some of the absolute best creators of all time were just people making shit that they thought was funny with absolutely no budget or prior experience. Anybody in their bedroom with a webcam could make a name for themselves, and that was kind of the appeal of the site. You know, love or hate Filthy Frank, and regardless of H3H3's terrible fucking 8 podcasts or whatever, but these guys were some of the last to do that. When Filthy Frank dropped Weeaboos and when Vape Nation came out, I think we experienced what the kids call a cultural reset. 2016 was this weird transitional year for not just YouTube, but the internet as a whole, where big corporations started to change everything to be based on algorithms to get people addicted to their platforms, and eventually this found its way over to YouTube, where people have gotten viral videos and building a business on the platform down to a science. The algorithm has kind of ruined the thrill of discovering new creators, because now everything is so homogenized that finding a new unique channel to begin with has little to do with randomly stumbling upon it like it used to be, and everything to do with recommending you the same shit over and over again based on previous shit that you've watched. Case in point, I absolutely love watching wacky conspiracy videos because I think they're fucking hilarious, but I can't do that anymore because YouTube has completely shadow banned all of that shit. I used to love going on YouTube rabbit holes where you just watch video after video of random shit that you find in the recommended completely disconnected from each other, but now that's not really the same anymore because now they just recommend you videos of the same person or just the most popular videos of that genre. The algorithm used to be based on what was actually popular and what was actually related to the video you were watching, whereas nowadays it's based on, you know, fucking watch time and all these other shit where they can keep you on the platform for longer to make more money. And a lot of the magic has been completely lost because of that. But I don't want to turn this into a YouTube bashing session because that's really easy to do. And I realize this is coming across as old thing good, new thing bad, but this isn't really about what's good or bad. It's about what I personally remember and have nostalgia for, right? Like I said, I wouldn't be the same had I not experienced YouTube in the late 00s, early 10s, and that magic and inspiration hasn't really been replicated in the modern era. You know, ironic coming from a guy who rips off Chris Ray Gun and Nakey Jakey, but I digress. YouTube is not the same as it once was, and I don't think that we will ever be able to recreate that golden age. But part of what makes that golden age of YouTube so endearing is that it will never happen again. It may seem trivial, but the creators that you watched in your youth end up shaping you in ways that you might not even know. And today, I've gone through some of the things that shaped me, and I'd love to know what shaped you. Well, I want to see what shaped your cocks and balls. And this last part goes out to YouTube specifically. This is for them only. Please bring back the old channel layout. We were never asked. But that is all for this video. I have been MattCMG, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.
I need medication, I need medication, I need medication, I need medication. Blend ice.
Now here's the thing about saying Firetruck. It starts with F and it ends with uck. So whenever you're in trouble or out of luck, you no longer have to exclaim, oh fuck. Hey, look at that, they just bleeped me and said say Firetruck. It's so easy, and I'd like to take a moment, just sit right there. I'll tell you how you can say Firetruck anywhere. Stub your toe, Firetruck. Lose your cash, Firetruck. You're naked and your parents come home, Firetruck. Fail your class, Firetruck. Scratch your ass, Firetruck. Clip your nails too short and it hurts, Firetruck. Grab your pants, Firetruck. Bite your tongue, Firetruck. No one shows up to your party, Firetruck. The ring of death, Firetruck. Forget to breathe, Firetruck. Find out your mom is your dad, Firetruck. Say Firetruck every chance you see. It's even more fun when it gets bleeped. Say it with me now, don't make this suck. Fuck! Whoa man, did you just say fuck? Nah man, I just said Firetruck. But when you bleep it, it says fuck. Who cares, man? We're saying Firetruck. Lose your teeth, Firetruck. iPhone bill, Firetruck. Jonas Brothers stuck in your head, Firetruck. Crash your car, Firetruck. Into your dog, Firetruck. Turns out your dog is your mom, Firetruck. Wait, so now my mom's a dog? And your dad. This is just getting ridiculous. You act like that's not normal. It isn't normal. It is in Canada. Oh, so they have man, dog, women in Canada? Yes. Fail science. Firetruck. Eat a pencil. Firetruck. There's over 500 Pokemon? What the Firetruck? Lose the game. Firetruck. David Blade. Firetruck. Get ran over by a... what? Firetruck! So yeah, next time you want to say the F word, just say Firetruck. It's more polite. And if you don't like this song, go Firetruck yourself.